Okay, varchar. Then we have seen text char. Okay, if you don't mention varchar in within bracket nothing, so there is no limit. It will take as any amount of text. Okay, so without any length specifier. And what else we learned? Yeah, numeric, date and time, boolean, character, and other. Okay, JSON, array, composite, and geometry. Okay, this is again case by case. We'll see when we are adding some data in JSON format, right? I'll show you when we learn about APIs. Okay, yeah. So we'll head towards ERD today. So ERD is very important. I'll tell you why. Okay, just maximize. Okay, so what is basically ERD? ERD stands for Entity Relationship Diagram. ERD. Okay, is a visual representation. Okay, it's like a blueprint, like how we build our house or apartment, right? You get a blueprint from a builder, right? Similar, when you design your database, under one database you design your tables. Okay, you get a blueprint. Okay, and it shows the relationship between tables. That is why we call this as RDBMS. Okay, relation database management system. Okay, so there is a relation between each and every table with the with the other tables. Okay, so it's a visual representation of database structure. Okay, in Postgres, the ERD shows the tables. Okay, tables we call this as entities. Okay, columns are attributes. This is the technical terminology. Okay, if someone asks you what are the entities that you see in your database, don't get confused, it's a table names. Okay, so these are the attributes. A column is called as attributes, the technical name of your columns. In Excel we say column, right? So, and again we have something called primary keys, foreign keys, and relation between tables. Okay, we're going to see all these things with some examples. I'll show you. Okay, so this is going to be more like a theory kind of thing. Okay, so like I said, you can think of ERD as a blueprint, okay, of a your database, Postgres SQL database, before before or after writing SQL statements. Okay, you will know. See, I'll tell you why we need a relationship. Okay, you cannot create one master table which includes everything. Okay, say for example, take Amazon. Okay, in Amazon, if I want to segregate, okay, tables, what are the tables I can segregate there? I can say product. Okay, product details, then cart details. So whatever you add to your cart, right, those things, another table is there. Then you have payment table, because we do a payment, right? And another one is the entity relationship. Okay,
Maybe we can have a customer list or a
correct.
unit numbers. What is the quantity, right? Well, who are the supplier names?
Correct. Exactly. Vendors. Okay. See, even Amazon procures those from some vendors. Say, for example, shoes, Nike, Adidas, right? So they maintain internally, because those tables, it will be not visible to customer. As a customer, when I'm using Amazon website, I'm not. I mean, this is not what you call visible to me, right? All those things. It is visible to internally to their team member who are managing those portals. Okay, so that they can check the stock taking, how many stocks are there. Okay, if whatever the relationship, whatever the tables I just mentioned, 4, 5, or 10 tables, if I add one table, if I add it, it will be a glitch. Okay, and see, that is not a good design of a database. Generally, what we do is we create multiple tables. Okay, why multiple tables? Because if you create multiple, if one table goes down, if a database goes down, the entire site goes down, right? So for that reason, what they do is we segregate. We use something called relation between the two, three tables. What is the relationship? Okay, I have a product, I have a cart, and I have a payment. Okay, so payment has a relation with my account. Okay, whoever logs in, it can check who paid and what product is supposed to be delivered to that person or customer, right? So that is the reason we create all. But see, the relationship that I'm talking about, it all runs in the background. Okay, you will not see anything with your naked eyes. Okay, it all works in the background. So we have something called relationship, or we call it diamond or lines. Okay, connections between entities, one to one, one to many, and many to many. Okay, so one to one is, example is, you login. Okay, login, I have a page, I just sign in with my Google account, I'm in. Okay, and one to many is carts. Okay, so say for example account and cart, so I am adding more products in my cart, right? One to many, many to many. Okay, if you are making more than one transaction, we can say many to many. Okay, and primary keys. Okay, why do we need a primary key in a table? Okay, to unique identifier. Simple. You take school system. Okay, in school system roll numbers are unique. Take corporate companies. Okay, in companies we have employee ID, okay, which is unique. If I want to identify who I am, they can pick my ID and they can put all information. Okay, so when did I join? Okay, when did I move? When did I got promoted? When did I, what's my salary? Everything they can put. Okay, primary keys. If primary keys are not there, there is a chance that there can be duplicate values. So when we add, create a table and say this column is identified as a primary key, even if you add, say for example first school student roll number is 001. Okay, and again 0023, and again by mistake if I add 001, it will say error, you cannot insert because you have mentioned this column as primary key, so you cannot do. And what is foreign key? Foreign key is another table. Say for example I have two tables. Okay, and the same primary key is added there also. Okay, say for example roll number. Okay, so that will act as a foreign key linking fields. You can see, see, once I show you this example set, then it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, establish entity relationship. Okay, and what is the purpose? Okay, this is used for designing database. Okay, if you I'll also share today some links for your learning purpose. uh, okay, just go through that. Okay, it will allow you to understand about design concept for database. Okay, so even if you master this year, okay, entity relationship diagrams, you master it, you can become an architect for database. Okay, you can design a table, you can organize data, and you can create a relationship between tables. Okay, and it will help you for troubleshooting data flow and dependencies also. If you create, dump everything in one table, okay, if a table goes down or a database goes down, it's going to be a big mess for you guys. Okay, so never put everything, always bifurcate. Okay, or you create small tables so that you can make a good designing. Okay, so that you can make a good designing for your database. Okay, so this is one example I want to show you. Okay, just assume this is a school system. Okay, in schools, who are the, and what is the who are the actors? Okay, we call the table that you see marks, these are actors. Marks is one actor, student is one actor, group is one actor, subject teacher is one actor, subject teacher. Okay, so this is a design how you have to logically design. Okay, you can pick anything. Marketing, in marketing you just google it, who are the er entity relationship are there, then accordingly you have to create a tables. Okay, now the first one is mark id. Okay, student id. Okay, student id has to be a unique number. Okay, it has to be a primary key. Okay, you have to choose any one. See, there is no hard and fast rule that you have to have only one primary key. You can have two also. Okay, so that is how you have to design. Okay, so this is very crucial step for a database administrator when he is building any database or designing the tables and all right from scratch. Why? Because what happens is suddenly he has all these five entities here, right? And later on, the later part of the design, okay, when it goes for discussion, he has to do some more changes, right? So if he is a owner, he can edit this table and add one more column. Okay, so
So,
that how.
Sunil, can we have a integer alphabet and integer both in the student ID?
Yeah, you can have.
Okay.
You can see
For
the
example,
student.
A1009, something like that. It
Yes,
includes
yes,
both
sir.
character as.
Yeah, then in that case, what you have to do is instead of integer, you have to say varchar, this one.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so see, some companies like Deloitte, it will start with D1269 something. Okay, with a location code. Okay, for them. In my previous company, it starts with V. Okay, so you can use a varchar. Integer means only pure integer numbers. Okay, it will not take letters. Okay, title you can see. Okay, subjects. Okay, so you have maths. So sometimes if you see the title right, it will say M001 math, science 001 SC, physics. Okay, so they have some code. That is how they design the code, and it should accommodate with your table. So you have to be very careful what kind of integer or I mean data you are storing. So you have to be very careful. Otherwise, what happens is if you create and you are populating and later on you are doing, okay, I forgot to do something. Best is varchar. Just mention varchar and leave it. It will take. Okay, mobile number. If you have a mobile number, parents subject is the teachers, the parents data table is there. Okay, so how does that link? You can create a parents uh, here, and you can take student ID. Okay, to identify their parents. Okay, so this is how you have to design student, then parents first name, last name, and mobile number pure integer, no varchar and all. Okay, and why ERD is important? Okay, so ERD helps in simple terms. It helps, it understands how table connects. Okay, so the table. Okay, so how table is connected. This is, see, you have a teacher ID here. Now here, what is this called? Teacher ID is here. This is a maybe out of these three group ID, subject ID, primary key, I have made subject ID as a primary key. Okay, now what teacher ID is acting here? It's a foreign key for this table called teachers. Okay, this is a foreign key, and there are other keys like composite keys and other things, which I'll explain later on. Okay, when that ID is used in more than one table, we call it as composite key. Okay, so this is a foreign key. Now for this table, what is a foreign key? Teachers ID. It is here and here also, but for teachers, you are linking with teacher ID with the first name and last name, and you can identify who is the subject teacher for that particular subject ID. Okay, and what are the other uses or important, why ERD is important is design tables, sorry, design database without data duplication. Okay, how we are doing that? Identity, every table will have one primary key. Okay, so no duplication, so you have a unique data in all the tables, so there will be no duplication. So earlier in DBMS, database management system, like IBM, there was one product, I forgot the name. Okay, so that was not a RDBMS, it was a pure DBMS. It will it doesn't have all these features like relation with tables and other things. So what used to happen is you can have a, there is a chance of having a duplicate values there. Okay, so that is where whatever the problem statement we had in DBMS, I mean, when these guys are building like Microsoft, Oracle, and other vendors, right, who are building this database management system, so they picked up all those problem statement and they came up with all these new features. Okay, and you can also see this ERT will also help you to visualize the joins, okay, before writing query. Okay, for example, I did see till now we have seen uh, uh, data manipulation language DML, okay, with a select statement, select star where and all that we have learned, right? Now I want to join this table and this table, okay, but how do you do that? Okay, we will use something called join. Okay, now if you have a ERD like this, you will understand you need a subject ID details, teacher's details, okay, who is teaching what, and you need a subject. Okay, then what you will do? Subject ID is already here. See, subject ID title is here. So what you will do is you will use subject, okay, subject or teacher, this table, and you can fetch two table content in a single frame. Okay, those are called joins. We have left join, right join. Left means, for example, take example of this marks and student. Okay, I want from I will say left join means I need all the columns from marks table. Okay, and I need only student ID here as a validation for first name and last name. Okay, so you can define from the left table what information you need, all or limited. Okay, so likewise we have something called right table. Okay, outer join. So I'll teach you all those examples, and once we get some hands-on, right, you will get a good idea about Postgres, okay, or database and all. Okay, and also it avoids design mistake early. Okay, so when you are designing a table, okay, it will help you if you are making any mistakes, right? It will give you idea in the ERD. Okay, this diagram. Okay, and also you can communicate the database design clearly. Okay, so now what we'll do is okay, this is next topic, but here we show something else. Okay, so today 29. Yes. Okay, now if you see, I have two tables here: DVD rental and Postgres. Okay, so I want to create a database. What is the command I'll use? Create database. I'll say school. Simple. Okay. Okay, so it's created, successfully created in so many milliseconds. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to right click here and you have to refresh. Now I have a school here. Okay, so I've created a database called school. Okay, so we will learn creating table these topics, DDL. Okay, next week. Okay, create table, modify table, drop table, constraints, schemas, partition, and all will. And this is the syntax how you create a table. Okay, I'll show you one just for learning purpose. Okay, there are a lot of concepts there. Okay, so we called entity is nothing but your table. Okay, so right now if you see under schemas, public, I don't have any table here. It's empty. Okay, it's empty. So what is it called? Entity is nothing but tables. Okay, I'll just write it down here. Okay, entity is nothing but table. Okay, and I said attribute is nothing but your columns. Okay, okay, attributes is nothing but your column. Say for example in our previous example, if I go to tables. Okay, now these are all called entity. Okay, actor, address, city, film actor. Okay, these are called entity. And whatever the columns that we see under here, column, film ID, title, okay, all these are attributes, columns. Okay, so there's a technical name that we have to use. Okay. Another thing that we have to understand understand is primary primary okay. Also short form is PK. Okay. Now what is primary key? Okay. What does primary key help us is uniquely identifies each record. Okay. Uniquely identifies record. Okay, this is the first statement I can think of. And the primary key cannot be null. Okay. Null means you cannot intentionally leave that without adding. Say employee ID. There is a column called employee ID. You cannot leave intentionally null. Okay. Uh, Not adding anything there. It has to have some value there. Okay. Cannot be null. And other one is, and this primary key is one per table. PK one per table. Okay. Now I'll explain about the foreign key. Okay, these are all concepts, guys. Today, foreign key. Okay, we can also say FK. Okay, in short. Now I'll explain the difference. Okay, what does foreign key do? Okay, it helps you to create a relationship between tables. In my previous example that I showed you, right? Okay. Now you see whatever the arrow that is moving here and there, right? So it is creating a relationship. See, group ID is here, group ID is here. Okay. So if I want a teacher details and group ID, I have to club because there is a relationship between group and teachers table. I can simply add. Okay. When you are using this, so when you are learning this joins and the other concept, right? You have to use this ERD most of the time. Okay. Right now this is a sample. Okay. Just how many table? 1, 2, 3, 5, but in real time you will see like 100 or more than that. 80 tables also have seen. Okay, so you have to sit and understand what info you want to pull. Based on that you have to sit and understand your ERD, entity relationship. Then it will be clear for you what you are looking for. Okay, coming back to my topic, foreign key. Okay, now what is foreign key? Creates a relationship. Okay, it creates a relationship between tables. Okay, and the second point that I can think of is it gives the reference, a primary key of another table. Okay, yes, reference point to primary key of another table. Okay, which I already showcased to you guys. Okay, so this is about foreign key. Okay, now what is relationship? Okay, now when we talk about relationship, okay, when we talk about relationship, there are three types of relation. Okay, one is uh, one to one. Okay, first one. one to many. Okay. Third one is many to many. Okay. These are the three relationships that will you come across. Okay. Meaning one row, one row. Okay. One to one is one row, one row. Okay. Now here one to many is one row to many rows. Okay. Many to many needs junction table. Okay. When you join tables, right? I'll explain this again. Okay. These are just concepts for now. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll create something called college database. Okay. Pro- Okay. So I just see when you right click and click on drop, it will be deleted. Okay. So so right now how many database we have? I should have only two. One is DVD rental and Postgres. Okay. So we'll create one. I'll show you. I'll show you how to create one. Okay. With a command line. You can also do a right click, create database. You can do that also. Okay. It's up to you. Whichever you're comfortable, you can do. Okay. Create 1 minute. What happened? My key. Okay. Create a database. Okay. So first step is create a database. So I just ran. I think I should have it. Yeah. College. Okay, you can write in cap c, up to you guys. Okay, how you want to design, or if you have a college like you have a branch, you are deciding like you have a college branch and all, so you can create college 001, college 002. If you have medical college, you have pharma college, you have engineering college. Okay, so based on the code you can create. That is how you're going to design your this. Okay. And next thing I'm going to do is I want to create a tables. What are the tables that I'm thinking of is entities. Okay. Two. Okay. Step two is creating these. Okay. Now what are those entities? Okay. When we talk about college, what are the entities that you think of? Okay. Student. Okay. Second, course. Okay. And enrollment. Okay, there could be more. Okay, so right now I'll just I mean I think these three will be enough for us. Okay, if you want to add, you can do more also. You can write it, jot it down. And because when we learn next the definition language, where you will create your own table, then you have to design and you have to connect each and every table. Okay, you have to create a relationship. Okay, so this is one. Now student, I'll take student first. Okay, I'll take student table. This is, just assume this is a table. Okay, table name is called student. And in student, what are the columns that I need? Okay, like I said, the student is an entity. Okay, and attributes. Now I want the attributes in student. Okay, I can say mm, student underscore ID. Okay, I want to make this as a PK. PK means primary. This is the first attribute. Second one, student name, right? Or you can say first name, last name, up to you. I'll just say same. Okay, name. And what type of data type I want to use? Varchar. Okay, this I'll teach later on. Okay, right now we are talking about designing. So when create table, we'll work on the data type and student name and email. Okay, simple table I want to create email. Okay, two simple things are done. Okay, now if you see student is done. Now what is the other one? The other table I have to create is course. Okay, when you are designing some table, right, you have to jot it down. Okay, everything rough work you have to do. I'll say course. Okay, now in course, obviously I'll have a course ID which is unique. Okay, I'll say PK primary key. I want to keep this course ID as PK because I want to have a uniqueness. Okay, another attribute that I want to other attribute that I want to think of is
The course name.
course name. Yes, exactly. Okay, course name. Okay, this is second. So write down. See, the homework for weekend is you take any scenario. I'll ask you to create a bakery management system, bakery hotel management system. Think of the relationship. Okay, just jot down few things like this. Okay, or school system, college. Okay, next one is enrollment. Is enrollment. Okay, this is my next table. Enrollment. Okay, now in enrollment, what are the things that I can think of? Enroll ID, student ID, course ID. Okay, okay, I want to make this as PK primary. Second attribute, course course ID, student ID and course ID. Because when you enroll, right, what are the information that you will look for? Student ID. Okay, I'll ask, I have enrolled for this XYZ course, can you check? So he'll ask, what is your enrollment ID? Okay, when he picks up my enrollment ID, it will also give the student ID. So he'll say your roll number is this, right? Then yeah, then that means I'm already enrolled to particular course. Student ID. Okay, next one is student ID and the enrollment, student ID and course ID. Okay, always make sure when you create a attribute name, right, column name, if you want to maintain capital, lowercase or uppercase, just have a common. Okay, here I have used s, name, email, caps, right? So here also you can make sure it's all caps. Okay, standardizing. Here also enroll. Okay, course ID. Okay, I'll just save this. Okay, now if you see the relationship here, I'll ask you the student table, right? Student table has a relation, it is like one to many. Okay, so one student can enroll to multiple courses, right? So similarly, one course, many enrollment. Okay, one course will have many enrollment. So course to enrollment. Okay, course and enrollment has a relation. Student and a course has a relationship. Student and enrollment has a relationship here. Okay. Now what we'll do is I'll show you today how to create one table. Okay. But this again we will have a separate session next week, okay? Because tomorrow we don't have class. Friday is your uh, practice day, okay? You have to work on your hands-on, okay? Whatever we have learned throughout the week, please practice, okay? What I was telling is create table, okay? Okay, so see what is the syntax? Okay, to create a table, syntax is create table. Okay, then you have to mention table name. So first one will take here as a student. Okay, this is our first table, second table, third table for a demo session for college. Okay, these are our entities, three entities. Okay, create table student. Now again I want to reiterate here, if you want to create lowercase, maintain the same format everywhere for whatever table you create. If you add some capital lower uppercase and all, you have to maintain the same. Okay, so that's the first funda that I would say. So I'll maintain capital SQ STUD, create table student. Okay, and then it takes a open and close braces. Okay, now I'll click next. Now here, what are the under student? What are the columns are there? Student ID, name, and email. Okay, so first I'll just copy this. Student ID. Next one is name. Okay, and next one is email. Okay, three entities. Okay, sorry, three attributes, not entities, attributes. Okay, now what are things that we have to add here? Student format. Okay, data format. So what data student ID column will accept? Okay, so in simple format there is one data, if you recall. Hmm, okay, under numeric data type we have something called serial. Okay, now what is this serial? Okay, it goes in a order. For example, if I add student Rupa, okay, today, and I mention the roll number is 1001. Okay, and next one automatically comes as 1002. Okay, so this is a benefit of adding serial, which will take the next number. Okay, so I'll mention serial, 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 simple. Okay, serial, 1 minute, serial. Okay, and I want to mention as primary key. How do you define this first column? Student ID is a primary key. You have to explicitly mention primary. See, I am writing in caps. Okay, you can write in small also, it will work. Okay, so I got that habit of writing in caps, so I. Okay, now you have to put a comma after this name. What is a name you can use? Simple text. Okay, then comma, and the next one is email. I can say where where can. Okay, so I've added three tables, and see here also when you run, you have to just make sure at the top selection section that it is changed to college. Okay, otherwise it will not work. So you have to say new connection. The server will be Postgres only. Here you have to make sure database, you have to do a selection here, say college, and then save. That's it, nothing else. Okay. So we have already created a database, which we have database, okay, but we don't have any table here. So we'll create a table. So just select and then run. Okay, it says query returned successfully in 134 millisecond. Okay, now how do you check? You expand schemas, public, under tables, you will see student. Okay, now if you use the manipulation language DML, you can select star star from student. Okay, student. Okay, now we see these three columns because we have not inserted a table, inserted data into table, right? So we'll learn this in definition in the upcoming classes. Okay, I'm just showing one example. Okay, so now I want to give you some homework. Okay, so I want you to pick something. Okay, not college or something. Create a step one, step two. Okay, identify and just create a dummy table. That's it, whatever we have learned, because next week first 20 minutes I'll check for few where you made mistakes. Okay, and we can learn from our mistakes. Okay, so first thing is we will create a table. Similarly, if I want to create a table for course, what I can do is, okay, for course, what are things? Course ID, I'll just copy uh, course ID. Next, course name. Okay, course name. Okay, I don't have any email there, so I'll leave this. So these are the two attributes for the course ID. Okay, serial primary key, same thing. If I run this, what happens? It will create a table schema. Okay. Oh, comma is there. Okay, comma should not be there. So if it gives some message here, line error on line 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Before that, you see if there is a comma, because earlier I just copy pasted, right? So there was a comma here. So you have to delete this. That's it. Okay. Done. Already exists. Student already exists. Oh, not this is not student. What is this called? Course. Sorry, my bad. Course. Okay. So successfully done. Okay. Now if I want to see course table, I'll just copy paste. So I have created these two attributes, course ID, course name, and pk means integer. You cannot have a duplicate values here in the course ID. Okay, that is how we have defined. Next one, uh, enrollment. Okay, I'll just copy paste. Okay, enrollment is the same name I gave you. ENROLLEMENT, enrollment. Yeah, first one is enroll ID, which is PK, primary key. So simply I'll just change this first one. Second one is student ID. Okay. Uh, student ID. Okay. Again, student ID gonna be, we have already defined student ID here, not here. Here. Okay. It is a serial. So what you're gonna do is, okay, since it is already getting created there, okay, since it is already creating in another table, you have to give the reference. Okay, how do we give the reference? Okay, I can say int means it's an integer value, and then I'll say references. Which table I have already created, student. It's called student table. Okay, so I'll show you how to give the reference. Student, student, within open and close bracket. Okay, from that table I want to use student underscore id. Okay, this is the reference it will take. See, this is how you create a relationship. References is the keyword that you will use, and table attribute. Okay, see, you need a practice, guys. That's the reason I'm just taking very simple here. Okay, I want you to create something by seeing these examples. Definitely everybody can do it. Okay, so next week I'll ask you to share your screen first 10 minutes on a daily basis. Then see, if these concepts are not clear, right, I mean, it will not help you to learn the other concepts. So this is student ID is done. What is the other one? Create table enrollment. I have in enrollment. I have something called course ID. Okay. Similarly, I'll do the same thing now. I'll put a comma. Okay. I'll say course ID. Okay. So this is the reason I was telling. See, if you are maintaining something in lowercase, maintain lowercase. Okay. I mentioned it sometimes if it goes in small case, right, it will throw an error. Okay. So it's C is course ID. Yeah, course ID. Now what is the table I want to give this one? What is the table name? Enrollment. Okay. Enroll ID, student ID, and course ID. Course ID I can take from table called course. Okay. Course and this one. Same like this. Okay. So what I'll do is int. Okay. I'll just copy this. Here I have to mention table called course ID. Done. Okay. Let me COURSC. This one is course ID. Okay. Good. 1 minute. See guys, here if I run this table course, I am seeing small case here. See, right? So here I have mentioned capital. Let me run it. Let me see. Okay. If it runs, well and good. Okay, it takes. Okay. So, so now three tables created. Now I want the table detail. So what I will say, select star from enrollment. Okay, let me check the attributes. So I have enroll ID, which is a primary key. Student ID integer. Okay, course ID, which is again integer, int. Okay, so this is how we're gonna create a relationship. Okay, I'll just save this. I'm gonna share this before we close this session. Okay, this is very important. So now you guys got some idea, right? ERD helps student. It helps you to predict what data is where, how they are related to each table and all, right? Now, if I want to see, I have created all these three, right? Let me let me where is college. Okay, let me refresh first. Okay, now uh, ERD for database. Okay, now you see it has created all the links. See, these are all I didn't create. It does automatically. It understands the relationship. So public means a public. If you mention, if you explicitly mentioning that it is a private, like for example bank account, So you will make it as private. Okay. So other even if I run as a admin, I cannot see that. Only the super admin can see those. Okay. Whoever is a super admin for the database. Okay. So public includes this table is a publicly available. Anybody can query. Okay. Show details. Okay. Now you see, if I click on this, it doesn't show what type of data it is there. Okay. So you have to play around, guys. Okay. You have to use all these option and just play around. That is how you're gonna learn. Okay. So okay, I'll just make you can move here and there all these diagrams so that you can see the difference. Okay. So I'll just put it like this. Now you see enrollment, course, and student all are related with each other. Okay. Now how a student is related here? Student ID is there. Okay. Student ID is here. Okay. It shows as a symbol. And what does yellow means? It's a primary key. Yellow means primary key. This is primary key for this table. If I want to ask how many unique course I have, so you can count primary ID serial number and you can get a result. Okay. So that is I mean, this is how you're gonna target your primary key, then foreign key. Now this is a foreign key. Okay. Now student ID is a foreign key for this table, student. Okay. And for course ID, this is the course foreign key for this table. When you want the enrollment details, enrollment ID, student ID, course ID, along with course's name, you have to join these two tables, course and enrollment, and pull that information because there is a relationship. If this line is not there, that means there is no relationship. Okay. And you see this ERT practice you can do even other tools. uh, I was using this one. Okay. Draw.io. This open source free. Okay. You don't have to pay anything. This is free. And here you have entity relationship. Okay. So for example, you can create diagrams here. For example, just maximize this. Okay. Now you see table name. Okay. I want to create a table name called student. Okay. And what are the unique keys you want to add here? You can add here. Okay. Primary key is serial number, unique ID. Like that, columns you can do graphically here. And you create multiple tables, designing one after one. Okay. What the data and other things that you want to store. Okay. You can create your own learning here. Okay. Drag and drop. Drag and drop. Okay. And then attributes. What are the attributes that you want to add? Okay. You can create here attributes below this and you can add 3 4 attributes. Okay. So which entity is that? Student. For example, you want to create a attribute for student. Okay. You can put inside also, no issues. Okay. So whatever the column is that you want to create, you can create for student here. Entity is student and attributes are student ID, first name, student last name, is primary contact number, email, something like that. You can write multiple things. Okay. So this tool you can use, guys, draw.io. So there are other tools also there. Okay. Like dweaver, then dvdiagram.io. These are all free popular tools. Okay. And paid, you have, if you come to paid or enterprise version, one is Lucid Chart, then other one is ER Studio and Navicat. I think these are the paid one. Lucid Chart is very famous. Yeah, I don't have an account, so you have to create account, then you have to play around. Okay. So this is AI based. You have to give the table name, everything. It will create ER diagram. Then you export that ER diagram and bring that to your Excel sheet or Word document, and then you have to accordingly give it to the database administrator. Boss, create tables as per this. So you'll create, you will validate, and then you will start connecting that to with your app so that the data will be populated in your database. Okay. So, so database architect is the one who does this architecture of a database. Okay. Uh, 1 minute. Got stuck or something happened. I'll close this. But use this one, guys. Okay. Draw.io is very famous and it's free. You can create uh, program management related charts. Okay. You have a lot of things here. I use this only. My previous organization, I used to
Can you
use.
ping that in the WhatsApp?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you have a lot of icons here, API gateway. You can create a lot of things. Okay. Uh, Progress bar. How do you show the progress bar for a task? Okay. So you have to sit and understand first task, and then whatever the background this thing is there, no background, you can change it. If you don't want grid, you can uncheck here on the right. You'll get something like this. And if you want to change the background color also, you can check. Okay, you have all option on the right hand side. You have to just play around with this. Okay, I'll okay. It's my WhatsApp. Okay, just save that URL into your. Just save that into your bookmark. Okay, so this is about our ERD, guys. Okay, this topic. So I think we are done with ERD, and what you can do is uh, you can create for example, whatever the examples I gave right here, student, school, college. Okay, I want you to create your own, pick any any topic, okay, of your interest, and then at least create this table. I want you to create and come back on Monday. I want to see whether you guys are getting the ideas or not. Okay, 1 minute. I'll share this file immediately so that you can have it handy. Okay, so it's called SQL Practice 101.
Surendra, I need a little bit of help. When I try to create the database, somehow I'm not able to see the database in the
Left side
database drop down, yeah, left side. But it shows the database exists, but it doesn't get displayed on the in the database drop down.
here.
Yeah, yeah, the left side below the
Left side.
DVD.
Yeah, you have to go to top folder, right click and say refresh.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, guys. I'll share this. So this one I want you to create. Okay, you take anything bakery, hotel management, hospital management. Okay, who are the actors? First thing you Google it, you'll get it. Okay, so anybody take any examples of their choice and at least come up with 2 3 tables here and how to create a table. This is a syntax of your table. Okay, create table, table name, open close bracket. Here you will create it that the attributes. Okay, and you have to define what is what. This at least I want you to practice. 1 minute, I'll share this file, otherwise I'll forget. 1 minute. Okay, I'll just mention as ERD. Okay, I have shared that file. See, these files you save it somewhere because these files will be very helpful when you are working somewhere, okay, and you can refer, okay, for reference purpose. So I had before all created for the previous batch. For some reason, I had my system crash on me. I lost most of the data. So that's the reason after the session is done, I copy one copy in my Google Drive. Always I keep one. Okay. So this is today's session, guys. So we are on top of the hour. So tomorrow, please practice. I'll be available on WhatsApp. Please, if you need help or any such thing, message me. If I get time, I will share the Meets Google Meets link. We will get on link for 5-10 minutes, and I'll clarify your doubt. Okay, this is very important. You need to do it yourself. This is very important. Okay, you have to do it. You take bakery system, food management, whatever you think you can. You can take school also. Okay, school. In school, what are the things that you can think? I have just added 3 tables, but in school you will have more. Even if you search in Google, okay, you see here. Just maximize this. Okay, you see, classroom is there, grade is there, course is there, student is there, parent is there. Okay, then we have how student and parent are connected here, parent ID. Okay, student ID, then parent ID is here. So there is a relationship between parent ID from this table and to this foreign key. Okay, this is acting as a primary key. PK, yellow means PK, and if it is gray, then we called it as a foreign key. Okay, now this is see how he has this entire design, how he has designed, and you can see the relationship, something like this. Okay, you can see a lot of things, guys. You Google it, you will get it. Bakery system and all. Okay, so customer, bakery, then inventory. Okay, in bakery, what are the entities are there? Okay, workers are there. Okay, similarly, then you have customer, vendor. You order material from vendor, right? So you need to you maintain their inventory also, right? So think, okay, it is all about brainstorming, nothing else. Okay, you have to think and create. Okay, at least I want you to get that hands on. Okay, because in interviews these guys will ask these type of questions even for freshers. Okay, so what is your understanding about database design? Okay, what are the things that is required? You have to say entity and attributes. Okay, designing entity and attributes, and you will create the relationship. See, so this is how the documentation is done before creating and all. Okay, so you can write why we are creating course ID is primary, course name, description. See, this is a foreign key, teacher ID is a for referencing teachers table. Okay, student classroom table. So this is how you have to understand. I'll share this link also. You Google it, you will get it, man. Lot of links are available. Okay. Uh, okay. But next week I would like to see, guys. Okay. 5-10 minutes. I just want to see the table. Are you able to create, and are you able to create the primary key attributes? I want to see if you get that hands on. Okay. See, in my case, I have mentioned everything in the first letter mentioned as caps. Okay, always the standard is you can mention lowercase only. Okay, that's a standard actually, but up to you. You can create in caps also. Okay, now if I say the enrollment table, this is enrollment table, yeah, student enrollment, and if I go to here table, you can see I have three tables: course, enrollment, and student. Okay, columns, you will see the columns are created: integer, text, email, character. Okay, this is called schema. Okay, that is also in different language we call it a schema. Schema is nothing but a blueprint of your tables or database, how they are connected to each other to create that relationship. Schema. Okay, chalo guys, I think we are on top of the hour. I'll let you know, let you go, and tomorrow is Friday, no class, but please practice. I'll be available. Okay, I'll